A terrifying moment as a popular podcaster is attacked at gunpoint. It happened as he streamed live on YouTube.
You want to go right now?
It was pretty much just pure shock.
Adam Grandmason, who hosts the weekly hip-hop podcast No Jumper, says at first he thought the stick-up was a prank.
The he that I let out is just this bizarre, like, nervous reaction, I guess, because I just couldn't, at that moment, I couldn't imagine that this was seriously happening. It felt like it was a joke.
New footage just exploded online, showing Adam22 being brutally attacked in what appears to be a second violent confrontation. This time, he didn't just hit the ground, he ended up in the hospital. The chaos is real, the footage is raw, and the future of No Jumper has never looked more uncertain. It all started less than a week after the already infamous altercation inside the No Jumper studio, a clip that went viral and dominated every corner of the internet, from YouTube Shorts to TikTok feeds. In that moment, Adam22 was caught off guard on his own show, getting physically assaulted by a guest whose intentions were clearly more than just verbal. Viewers thought it couldn't get more intense. They were wrong. A new video surfaced late last night, showing Adam22 being attacked once again, but this time not in the safety of his podcast space. This happened outside, it was unplanned, and it sent him to the emergency room. Eyewitnesses claim the incident occurred near a parking lot not far from his recording studio in downtown Los Angeles. In the video, which now has over 12 million views across platforms, you can see Adam talking on the phone, seemingly relaxed, before being approached by two unidentified men. Words were exchanged. Seconds later, fists flew. One of the attackers reportedly had a concealed weapon, but according to sources, it was not used. Instead, Adam was thrown to the ground and struck several times before the assailants ran off into the night. By the time paramedics arrived, Adam was conscious but visibly shaken, bruised, and bleeding. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai for treatment. In a message shared with close friends and later leaked, Adam said, "This time, I really didn't see it coming. I don't know who they were or what they wanted. I just know I'm lucky to be alive." Those few words paint a haunting picture of what this attack really was. A direct escalation, not just a random act of violence. Something deeper is brewing around the No Jumper universe, and many are starting to ask if it's all finally
The self-incrimination at its finest. F No Jumper, east to west of South LA. Speak up on your culture, not ours, until y'all make it right. Stay dangerous. East side, stop speaking on our culture if you can't be around us. I ain't mad at him, man. All right, when you're in LA, the quickest way to get some answers or get some resolution is to make threats. Because if you're a gangbanger with, I don't know, 1,000.
Up to him, Adam22 has always walked a fine line between digital fame and real-world danger. His platform thrives on gritty, raw conversations with people deeply embedded in street culture. And while that's part of what made No Jumper explode in popularity, it's also what keeps the tension high. When you invite guests with real histories, real beef, and real street credibility, you're not just talking into a mic, you're stepping into a volatile space where anything can happen. That became undeniably clear after the first attack, and now this second one confirms it. But this isn't just about violence, it's about the future of one of YouTube's most controversial and captivating media empires. In his last public statement before the hospital visit, Adam admitted, "Maybe I flew too close to the sun. I built something out of nothing, but I didn't plan for this level of backlash." That admission is a huge shift from the fearless, cocky persona fans are used to seeing. It shows that even Adam22, the man who has survived every controversy imaginable, is starting to feel the weight of what he's created. Industry insiders are already buzzing about what this means for the business side of No Jumper, as brand deals hang in the balance and sponsors consider pulling out. The attack raises serious questions about liability and the safety of everyone involved with the platform. Sources close to the No Jumper team say they're considering moving to a private location with strict guest screenings and full-time security, something that was unthinkable just a month ago. But the stakes have changed. When your host is getting physically attacked not once but twice in a single week, change becomes necessary. Some are calling the recent events a turning point. Others think it's just the beginning of a darker chapter. Online discussions have spiraled into full-blown conspiracy theories. Is Adam being targeted because of something deeper than just interviews? Could it be connected to past guest appearances, feuds that went too far, or street politics? Outside of public view, no one has
the door down and came in and took advantage of the invite. Now, when you look at this video is a huge difference from what Lush was telling Travis Ford when they were outside at No Jumper?
Yeah, bro, these folks are tripping right now, dog.
Tell Adam to come outside.
Bro, hey, they
don't come outside, it's gonna be a problem.
Hey, bro, they're tripping, bro.
What you tripping on? What
like,
you told us to be here.
Nah, bro, I know, but you wasn't supposed to be like super deep like that. You said it was just gonna be the two of y'all was gonna come back right now.
I got my 6 hoes and my home.
I get it. Yeah, you know, I'm trying
That's
to.
my cousin.
Lush is like, bro, I told y'all it was only supposed to be 2 of y'all. Travis Ford like, hold on, bro. That audio said we was going to turn up. We was going to have fun. Now, I understand what Lush said. I still don't think a reasonable person would hear that invite and hear, I'm allowed to come and turn their facility into my stomping ground and into my venue for the day. I just don't think that's how that works.
Definitive answers yet, but the speculation is endless, and the interest is sky high. In a brief recorded statement released from his hospital bed, Adam looked directly into the camera and said, "I'm hurting, not gonna lie, but I'm not quitting. I've been through worse mentally. This is physical. I'll bounce back." The clip, only 45 seconds long, has already been turned into dozens of fan edits, TikToks, and reaction videos. It's clear that his audience still supports him, but even they are beginning to question how far this can go before someone truly gets hurt beyond repair. Meanwhile, the attackers remain unidentified. Police have confirmed an investigation is underway, and security footage from surrounding buildings has been collected. Detectives are reportedly pursuing multiple leads, including one that ties the incident to a past guest who appeared on the show in 2023 and was recently released from prison. While authorities haven't made any arrests, the case is developing quickly and more updates are expected in the coming days. As for the No Jumper team, morale is low but not broken. Co-hosts and producers have taken to social media to express their support while also demanding action be taken. To prevent further incidents, one producer wrote, "This isn't what we signed up for. We wanted to make content, not become part of someone's beef." Their concern is understandable. The blurred line between content creation and real-life danger has never been so obvious, and it's now forcing everyone in the industry to take a hard look at how far they're willing to go for clicks, views, and viral fame. The world of online media is evolving fast. What used to be a simple podcast setup has become a high-stakes environment where egos, reputations, and sometimes lives are on the line. Adam22's journey is a clear example of how digital fame isn't always safe fame. It comes with pressure, enemies, and consequences that most influencers never have to think about. But when your content is built around raw street-level reality, those consequences
Really what a reasonable expectation would be. So yeah, Lush is probably wrong for not really alerting everybody that Travis Ford was going to be there with some homies. But I think Lush was planning on saying, "Hey, bro, you pull up with two or three homies, cool. It's no big deal. You can just walk in with me and chill in the back and maybe get on the news." Lush was not expecting you to bring 40 people, a band, 60 tacos, a cake. Like that's a tad bit much. And I don't feel like we should put the onus on Lush for not predicting that Travis Ford was going to do this. Now the reason why we have to put the blame on Lush is because it seemed like Lush was communicating but missed a lot of what Travis said. So while he was on stream, Travis was telling Lush, "Hey, I'm gonna bring this dude, I'm gonna bring this dude, we're gonna have a good time." So it feels like in Travis' own way, he was letting Lush know he was gonna come deep, but Lush wasn't catching on.
I saw the issue. I need my asada fries.
can become very real, very fast. The future of No Jumper now hangs in the balance. Will Adam recover and return stronger than ever, building a safer and more strategic version of his empire? Or will this series of events cause an irreversible shift in how the show operates, maybe even forcing it to change completely? These are the questions fans, critics, and business partners are asking right now, and while Adam heals, the team must figure out how to move forward without losing the edge that made the brand iconic. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. As new footage, updates, and responses continue to surface, the drama surrounding Adam22 and No Jumper is only growing. For those who followed the platform from the beginning, this moment feels like the most crucial yet, not just because of the violence, but because of what it symbolizes, the tipping point where content crosses into reality, and a creator is forced to face the consequences of the world he helped amplify. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every update, and every truth behind this viral madness, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I'll be breaking down the latest footage, sharing exclusive insights, and keeping you updated on Adam22's recovery, the No Jumper Studio's next steps, and the deeper story that's only just beginning to unfold. The man who built a digital empire on raw, unfiltered truth is now the center of a real-life nightmare. Adam22, host of No Jumper, has been attacked twice in one week. The world watches in shock as the lines between content and chaos blur. What started as a podcast became a war zone. Now he's in the hospital, and the story, it's just getting started. The world has changed. Once podcasts were safe spaces, rooms filled with microphones, comfortable couches, and conversations that ended when the recording stopped. But not anymore. In the case of Adam22 and his platform No Jumper, the line between
wakes up with some type of revelation that Lush done effed up too badly to bring back, bro, we might see a second crash out tomorrow. But what I would disagree with when it comes to Adam is saying that he don't believe it's the guys who pull up fault, is Lush's fault entirely. Is Lush fault? Yes. Right? Especially after the leaked video came out, it's Lush's fault for sure. But I'm not taking the blame off the dudes who pull up. I'm not taking the blame off Travis Ford. If somebody invites you, even if they say, hey, bruh, you can bring a couple of people, I don't think that person's expectation is you're going to come with 40 people, you're going to come with cake, you're going to come with 60 tacos, you're going to come with a whole production crew, you're going to come with mics to film a music video. Like, I don't think that person's expectation would be you're going to turn a No Jumper facility into your hood day.
Entertainment and reality has vanished. What was once a show about street culture, celebrity interviews, and gritty storytelling has turned into something far more dangerous. 2 violent attacks in under a week, a host hospitalized, and an entire online community watching in stunned silence. This isn't just a story about a YouTuber being jumped. This is about the consequences of pushing boundaries in the name of views, about the ethical responsibility of creators who invite danger into their own lives, and the people they bring into their orbit, about how platforms like YouTube are grappling with the fallout of content that doesn't just entertain but endangers. And most importantly, it's about the future of digital media. Where does it stop? Adam22, the man behind No Jumper, has always walked a tightrope. He's built his brand on authenticity, on bringing to life the kind of stories others wouldn't dare touch. His guests are often controversial figures, rappers with criminal pasts, athletes with checkered reputations, influencers with deep ties to underground worlds. And while that's what made the show so compelling, it also created a volatile environment, one where tensions could flare at any moment. Now with 2 brutal attacks under his belt, the question isn't just whether Adam22 will recover physically, it's whether the entire No Jumper universe can survive this. Let's start with the legal side. Who is responsible for Adam22's safety? Is it him, the producers, the studio, or even YouTube itself? In the aftermath of the first attack, which took place inside the No Jumper studio, questions immediately arose. Was the team aware of the potential for violence? Did they do enough to vet the guest involved? According to sources close to the production, there had been prior warnings. Some staff members reportedly expressed concerns before the episode was recorded, but nothing was done. The show went on, and then chaos. Now, with the second attack happening outside the studio, the situation
out here. Oh man, we ain't nothing but
Hey, cuz, check it out, Trav. Yeah, Adam ain't fucking you today, cuz. So this what we gonna do, cuz. You gonna take your crew. Y'all gonna get the out of here. We gonna try it again next time. We gonna try to get my boy. You my boy. You my boy, but Adam ain't fucking you. So y'all gotta get up out of here, cuz. Man, it's all bad. Yeah, cuz. Y'all trespassing at this point, cuz. You gotta go. Damn.
Can I ride with y'all? And this ain't out to whack, cuz. No Jumper, nigga. Fuck Adam, nigga. Fuck Lush, cuz. Nigga, y'all invited us here, bro. Niggas a lot of money to be here and bring gifts and drop the mics and video man, cuz. So y'all want to play with us, cuz? Y'all gotta get the fuck out of LA, nigga.
I'm not from LA. I don't understand the culture. My only question would be, why will the East Side and the West Side link up at No Jumper for peace? Aren't there better places?
Has grown even murkier. This time, Adam wasn't in a controlled environment. He was walking down the street, talking on the phone, completely unaware of what was coming. Two men approached, words were exchanged, then fists flew. And just like that, the host of one of YouTube's fastest growing shows found himself in the emergency room. So who's legally responsible? That's the million-dollar question. Under current US law, hosts and content creators aren't typically held liable for the actions of third parties unless there is clear negligence or intent to cause harm. However, if it can be proven that the No Jumper team knew or should have known that the individuals involved in the attacks posed a threat, things could get complicated. There are precedents in the entertainment industry where liability has been assigned in cases of on-set violence or unsafe working conditions. If investigators determine that the attackers had some connection to previous episodes or guests, that could change everything. For example, if one of the suspects was a former guest who appeared on the show in 2023 and was recently released from prison, that would be a major red flag. And if there were warnings or threats ignored by the team, that could open up a floodgate of legal action. As for YouTube, the platform is protected under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which shields websites from liability for user-generated content. But that protection is not absolute. If the platform is found to have knowingly hosted content that encouraged violence or promoted dangerous behavior, the shield could begin to crack. There are already calls from legal experts and public interest groups for new regulations around creator accountability. They argue that when content becomes a breeding ground for real-world conflict, platforms must step in, but others say that would stifle free speech and creativity. Where do we draw the line? Adam22 himself hasn't shied away from discussing these issues. In a recent voice message shared with close friends and later leaked, he said, "I didn't sign up for this. I wanted to tell stories."
Adam22 responds back to the Crips banning No Jumper from LA. This situation is crazy. If you aren't already tapped in with the situation, let's do a quick recap. So Lush One invited this guy by the name of Travis Ford to No Jumper to come and do the news. Travis Ford took that as an invitation to bring 100 people with him. So 100 Crips showed up with cake, with tacos, with an open mic, a production crew, and Adam is like, yo, what's going on? Lush One never told us about this. We ain't know 100 you guys were supposed to be here. Y'all can't come in, bro. This is too much. So then Travis Ford and who he was with, they proceeded to say F No Jumper, and No Jumper is banned from LA because they couldn't come in and podcast with No Jumper.
Adam, scary ass. Let us in.
Travis Ford, cuz, what's going on, cuz?
Stop playing. Lush invited us.
No.
Nigga, y'all
Adam,
be
what?
in culture, cuz, until the whole.
Not become a target. Maybe I pushed too hard. Maybe I brought too much heat into my space. But I'm not the one holding the gun. His words speak to the heart of the issue. As a content creator, he was trying to make something meaningful, but in doing so, he may have opened a door that can't be closed. Then there's the ethical dilemma. Should someone like Adam22 be allowed to invite high-risk guests onto a show without taking every possible precaution? The answer isn't simple. On one hand, freedom of expression is a cornerstone of American society. People should be able to discuss whatever they want, no matter how controversial. On the other hand, when those discussions involve real people with real histories, the risks multiply. One producer for No Jumper put it this way in a recent interview: "We thought we were making content. We didn't realize we were walking into a battlefield. And yet, the demand for that kind of content has never been higher. Viewers love the drama, they crave the tension, they want to see the real stuff. So when does it become too much?" That brings us to the mystery behind the attackers. Who are they? Why did they go after Adam22? Early reports suggest that one of the suspects may be tied to a 2023 episode of No Jumper. A guest who appeared on the show was recently released from prison. Could this be a case of revenge? Or is there a deeper motive at play? There are also theories that the attacks are part of a larger power struggle within certain circles of street politics. Some speculate that Adam22's growing influence has made him a target. Others believe it's personal, linked to a feud that played out in a viral clip months ago. What we do know is that both attacks were deliberate. The first happened during a live taping, suggesting the attacker had access to the studio. The second occurred in a parking lot near the studio, indicating the assailants knew Adam's routine. Police have launched an investigation, collecting security footage and pursuing multiple leads. But until arrests are made, the truth remains elusive. Meanwhile, fans are going
And he says, yo, he brought a production crew, he brought a mic stand, he brought party gifts, he brought a cake, tacos. So they already had this thing planned out to where they were gonna have essentially a hood day at No Jumper, a party, and the boss at No Jumper knew nothing about it. Now they claim that Lush invited them, but Lush invited them to come and podcast, not to come and have parties, not to come and do a music video, not to come and do a peace congregation with multiple gangs. So when this came out, Adam decided that he wanted to respond back to really explain what happened and his side of things. Because what it looks like Lush was trying to get them in, but Adam was the big bad guy who said, yo, y'all can't come in, and he was the one who wasted people's time. Adam wanted to explain that he ain't waste nobody's time, that it was Lush One's fault.
Okay, so I'm going to speak on the situation that happened today. Basically, like, I don't know.
Wild online. Social media is ablaze with reactions. Memes, fan theories, and emotional responses are flooding in. Some are rallying behind Adam22, calling for justice and support. Others are questioning his choices, asking if he should have known better. On Twitter, one fan wrote, "This is what happens when you invite monsters into your space. Respect the game, Adam. It's real out here." Another posted, "He's a victim, not a villain. Let him heal. Let the police do their job." The divide is stark. Supporters argue that Adam22 is being unfairly blamed for events beyond his control. Critics say he should have taken more precautions, especially after the first incident. But what can't be denied is the impact this has had. On the No Jumper community, morale is low. The team is shaken, and the future of the show hangs in the balance. Adam22 himself has spoken out from his hospital bed. In a brief statement, he said, "I'm hurting. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not quitting. I've been through worse mentally. This is physical. I'll bounce back." It's a powerful message, one that shows strength in the face of adversity, but it also raises questions about how long he can keep going. Will No Jumper continue as it is? Will the format change? Will the team move to a safer location with stricter guest screenings? And full-time security? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the world of online media has changed forever, and as for Adam22, he's not just fighting for his recovery, he's fighting for the legacy of a brand that dared to push boundaries, and now finds itself in the eye of the storm. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every update, and every truth behind this viral madness, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. I'll be breaking down the latest footage, sharing exclusive insights, and keeping you updated on Adam22's recovery, the No Jumper Studios' next steps, and the deeper story that's only just beginning to unfold.